Since 1989, the Middale Public Schools Foundation has celebrated excellence in education across Middale Public Schools. Join us over the next few minutes as we take a look at the past and see how the foundation got its start, and a glimpse into the future to see where we go next. This year, we're going to celebrate our 35th anniversary, and we are so excited to celebrate with you. We want you to join us as we make an even bigger impact across our district. Stick around because we're just getting started. Okay, Dara, so as one of our founding board members, tell us a little bit about how the foundation came to be.
Well, I would say the first meeting that I was invited to, there had already been some plans made, and Smokey McKinney and Pam Hall kind of got the ball rolling and talked to Dr. Folks after they talked about some things, and it took about 6 months to finally kind of put some things together and what they wanted to do and what they were thinking, which was very small at the time. And the chamber played a big part in that first original part of money coming in from the chamber, from some of the leadership classes, and that's when it started.
I remember I got a call from Steve Coleman, and he said Jimmy Nolan was going to come by and talk to me about joining the foundation board, and Jimmy did come by. She wanted me to know that if I was coming onto the board, this was a board that works. This is not just something to put on your resume that said you did it. You're expected to show up for the meetings, you're expected to contribute, you're expected to serve on a committee and do some work. And she explained that in detail, and I agreed to it, and it was something I've never regretted.
There were a lot of people that came on board and a lot of businesses and individuals, and it has grown into an amazing thing. So
35 years later,
35 years later.
Could you ever imagine?
No, and that you know, and some of the same people are still involved after all this time.
Absolutely.
There were years where, you know, we may get a stack that thick of grants that we've got to read in just a couple of days and be ready for, and there were years where, you know, the stack's that deep. So one of the things that impressed me right off the bat with the foundation board and the grants was everything was done anonymous. It's done by numbers. We would sit down and read these grants and negotiate them and decide what to fund, not knowing what school or what teacher was going to get a grant. And it wasn't until the morning we passed out the grants that we actually found out who we had funded and what schools had been funded, because we were just judging them on merit.
Foundation is really important for the district because it's a bridge between the district and the community. And the people who have just been the cornerstone of the foundation for the last 35 years are retired educators and business leaders in the community. But beyond that, you also have the same teachers who apply for grants and receive those grants are also sometimes significant contributors to the foundation itself. They're almost paying it forward to themselves. And so the Big Idea grants from the beginning have been huge in terms of what the foundation does for this district. But on top of that, you have other major projects like the hydration stations, which again, that came from a conversation with teachers. And because of the foundation, we've been able to add hydration stations in every school around the district. And that is huge when we talk about health initiatives. You have the Period Poverty Project, you have Project Hope, you have recognitions and helping the district out with the Celebration for Excellence that we do. All of that is just critical because these are things that we don't always have district funds to do. And so it allows our teachers to really understand that there is a community that surrounds Middale that helps support what they do in the classroom every day with students.
This year, there's one grant that I'm really excited about, and it's from Townsend Elementary, and it's with the VEST. Can you tell us a little bit more about that one?
Yeah, sure. The VEST that were purchased with that grant allows the students who are deaf or have trouble hearing the ability to feel the music.
Yeah.
And so it will vibrate. It plugs into whatever the teacher is working on as far as that musical selection for the day, and so the kid can put the vest on and it vibrates to the beat.
Yeah, man, I love
So
that.
they have an opportunity to feel literally
Yeah.
what the other kids are singing, although they can't necessarily hear all of that. They can literally be a part of it through
Yeah.
feeling.
So it's pulling in those kids, it's including them.
Absolutely.
It's making sure that they're a part of it. And it gives me goosebumps on that.
Yes, you know, that's where the arts encompasses all students.
Yes.
And that's the beautiful thing about it.
Yes, I love it. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about the Living Museum?
The Living
grant?
Museum, yes, the great Rhonda Watkins. She wrote this grant about 13 or so years ago for kids to be able to write a first-person narrative about what it was like living in the American Revolution. And this grant provided costumes, very accurate costumes for the kids to wear. And the really cool thing about this grant is she wrote it over 13 years ago. She's now retired. She's been retired for several years, and the teacher that took her place is still using this grant. And so kids that were not even born when she wrote this grant are getting the impacts of this grant. And so it's just really cool to see.
So a one-time paid grant.
One-time paid
A
grant.
one-time paid grant. We're still seeing the benefits.
Those are the effects. It's we have far-reaching, so we have like long-term grants and short-term grants, and that was a long-term, far-reaching grants.
I've been on a lot of different boards for nonprofits, and the foundation just stands out as one that really puts something back in the community. And it's not just what you put back in the community this year. I mean, the difference you make in a student's life carries for generations, and it's all for the kids. When you look at the difference that it makes in a kid's life, that's what public education is all about. And the foundation is the perfect vehicle for that.
It's just an awesome thing that people can do by donating to the foundation. It turns around and helps K-12 fine arts, and that in itself is just really special because it touches every student.
Over the past 35 years, the foundation has invested $1.5 million back into the classroom. As you've seen in this video, we would like to continue to make a difference in the next 35 years. So we need you to partner with us to make that happen and to make a difference in the lives of teachers and students in the district.
Every donation, no matter how big or how small, makes a direct impact on our students and teachers. Thank you, and cheers to 35 years.